Fabsomely besties, today we are crafting in the kitchen. We are going to attempt to make Pop-Tarts that you can really eat. Say what? I know, right? These Pop-Tarts are plant-based with no added sugar or oil. So let's get started. Oh yeah, and since we're cooking, adult supervision is required. To make our Pop-Tarts, we're using spelt flour, baking powder, salt, water, a large Honeycrisp apple. I love apples.
Aw, I love you too!
And cinnamon. In a mixing bowl, combine 1 cup of spelt flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1/2 cup of water. Mix well, and it will start to become dough. It needs a little more flour, so I'm adding 1/2 teaspoon. Mix, and this is better, but I think we could use a little more. I add another 1/2 teaspoon, mix, and 1 more. Now that is starting to act like dough. Sprinkle a little flour onto a protected surface, place the dough on the counter, then begin kneading the dough. Continue kneading until it is a lot less sticky. This is just about right. This part is so much fun. Then I place it back in the bowl and allow it to sit for about 5 minutes. Take a large apple and have an adult mince it into smaller pieces.
Wait, what? I'm out of here!
Aw man, that happens every time. I have been mincing for like 15 minutes and it's turning into like applesauce. Seriously, this is impressive. But that is a lot of apples for just a little bit of dough. Might have overdone it. Add cinnamon to the apples and stir until the apples are evenly coated. Take parchment paper, cover a cookie sheet, add a little flour to a protected surface. I take about 1/3 of the dough, place it on the counter, flour a rolling pin, rolling out the dough. I want it to be thin, but not so thin that I can't pick it up. Carefully pick up the dough, place it on parchment paper. Using a pizza cutter, I cut the dough into small rectangles, remove the excess pieces, make a small indentation in one of the rectangles, take a small spoonful of the cinnamon apples, place it in the center, move the filling to get right up to the edge, but don't pass it. Take a little bit of water and rub it around the edges. Take another rectangle of dough and place it on top, gently pressing around the edges. Take a toothpick and make little lines going all the way around. Make 4 small dots on the top to make a giant doll Pop-Tart. Yeah, let's see if we can make one a little smaller. Let's try cutting one of the rectangles in half. Add the filling, a little water around the edges, then place the other rectangle on top. Make our fancy little edges, a hole on top for our second attempt at making a doll-sized Pop-Tart. Now I have 2 that are about the same size. Preheat the oven to 400. Then when it's ready, place the Pop-Tarts inside and bake for 2.5 minutes. Because they're so small, they bake very fast. Ooh, it's ready! Oh, and make sure you have an adult do this part. Take them out of the oven and allow them to cool. Baking times will vary. Mine have been about 2.5 to 3 minutes. To make tiny Pop-Tarts with a cinnamon apple filling. Time for a taste test. They could use a little more filling. All I taste is crust. We can make the dough just as before. Roll it out. Make a small circle. Once on the parchment paper, flatten it out a little more. I want to get the dough as thin as I can. Add the filling to the center. Carefully fold over the edges, making small pleats as you go. Bake for about 5 minutes to make a rustic apple tart. Roll scraps of dough, divide it into 3 parts, gather the ends, Then braid them. Bake for about 10 minutes to make edible loaves of bread. Or we can just cut large rectangles of dough, add filling, place another rectangle of dough on top, push down the edges, use a fork to seal them closed, add a few holes on top, bake for 15 minutes to make an all-natural on-the-go human-sized snack. It was a lot of fun baking with our dolls. Since it's real food, we can make it look like they've taken bites out of it, adding a whole new level to doll play. Make sure you do not store real food in the dollhouse. After a few days, that could get kind of yucky. We hope you have a lot of fun coming up with your own dolly recipes. Thank you for joining us while we made edible doll food. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to ring the bell and follow us on Instagram at MyFroggyStuff and the Frog Vlog. And you're done.
Happy crafting!
We want to give a shout out to Sully Pearl Bear. What's up? Do I smell cinnamon apple? Like real cinnamon apple. Yeah, I just baked up a few things in the kitchen, like homemade Pop-Tarts, bread. You had me at baking.